I feel bad for you, man. If you voted for Joe Biden believing that that was the guy, that was the adult in the room, that he had the experience and the knowledge and the relationships to put the world back straight or whatever nonsense he tried to tell us, if you believed him that he really didn't want to do this, he had to come out of retirement because he was the only man that could stop Donald Trump. And he told you that the moment that tipped him over the edge was Charlottesville, when Donald Trump said that there were very fine people on both sides. If you believed all that, this dude has been gaslighting you since the beginning. And he's not giving up because, I mean, why would he? Why would you ever mess with such a good thing?
Well, look, he's promised if he doesn't win, there's going to be a bloodbath.
Can you
Things
imagine?
like that. Here's what bothers me most. We have a fundamentally different value set. For example, when he was in Paris, he wouldn't go to that gravesite and said they're losers, these men and women who were killed in battle defending America. Losers, and I'm glad I wasn't there because I think I would have, my son's in one of those graves. In one of the graves back here, not there.
Yeah, I mean, nothing but full on gaslight and lying, of course. I mean, he had to catch himself. He says his son's in one of those graves, says the consoler in chief, who literally tells every Gold Star family that he creates that he knows their pain, that he lost his son in combat too. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care if you love or hate Joe Biden, but that's disgusting behavior from anybody. And it's unbelievable. That's how bad that is. But that's not even what I want to talk about here. I need help figuring this out, man. Help me figure this out. If you're a Trump deranged lunatic who believes every line of nonsense about Donald Trump, how is it possible that even when you find out that whatever thing you were told he said wasn't actually said, things like calling for a bloodbath, saying that white supremacists were very fine people, none of these things happened, right? These things are provably false. But even when people find the truth, which is always by accident, but even when they find the truth, they still continue to not only pretend to believe the nonsense or actually believe it, but they keep repeating it. I mean, how does someone get so polluted that they behave like that? And here's the thing that amazes me the most, man. They know the things that are provably false are false, but they still believe the even crazier, more sensational stuff that can never, ever be verified. And I'm sorry, man, but if you actually believe that Donald Trump said that the fallen soldiers are losers and refuse to visit their graves, then your thoughts are not your own, man. And you probably will never, ever, ever be able to think for yourself again. But I mean, sadly, you're not alone. I mean, there are still people that will believe literally anything and everything you tell them as long as it's something bad about Donald Trump. I mean, they will believe it. And it's the Democrat campaign strategy. It's their only campaign strategy. And like every other Biden campaign strategy, it is going to fail. I mean, their only hope moving forward is that they can silence their own candidate. If they can muzzle Joe Biden, they might have a chance.
So as you're expanding the argument, we have news this morning from NBC News that the campaign is looking to shorten its speeches. Biden's general election strategy is less is more. The president's aides are seeking to tighten his pitch to voters with shorter, crisper speeches. To be honest with you, Quentin, I think that's a very smart idea. I think
for everyone.
For everyone, for everyone. I appreciate that approach because it is a way for the president to sort of hit with clarity, stick his points and move on and not get lost and sidetracked. Give us a little bit more of the scene setting around the thinking there and trying to reimagine the campaign going forward with what you just said and this idea now of the president tighten his grip on his speeches.
Look, our campaign believes in quality over quantity. We believe that these touches, these smaller things that are getting directly to the point about what is going on in the stakes of this election are going to be easier for voters to tap into and sort of also go out and say and talk to their friends and family about what's at stake. And I think that those are some simple things that we can say. Donald Trump is directly responsible for the fact that 1 in 3 women in this country of reproductive age are living under a national abortion ban. Donald Trump wants to destroy health care and rip away Social Security and Medicare.
Their campaign believes in quality, he says. Right before he says that 1 in 3 women are living under a national abortion ban. Right before he says that Donald Trump has promised to be a dictator. No one believes this, man. Obviously, it's completely and totally crazy. I mean, this is not quality. These are lies. And I don't know what the hell happened to Michael Steele, man. Was this guy always a complete POS? Or is the MSNBC money just that freaking magical? I mean, I cannot believe that this is the same Michael Steele that used to literally run the RNC. I just cannot believe it's the same person, man. But I mean, you must really hate Donald Trump if you're willing to just sit there and platform that kind of propaganda and just sit there silent.
We've got to remove the clutter. Voters are tuning in, and we've got to get directly to the point. Donald Trump wants to be a dictator on day one, and he's saying that he's proud and that most people like that. We have to just remove all of the clutter and get it directly to the message to make it easy for voters to follow, understand, go out and communicate, and that's what we're doing in our field offices around the country, and that's what we're going to continue to do with our principals as we send them out over the country.
He says they want to make things easier for voters to follow and understand. He says they need to be more moderate. Basically, they need to silence Joe Biden in order to do any of that. But I mean, here's the thing. These people are preaching to a group that is shrinking, and they know it. Nobody actually believes them. No one believes that the economy is the best in the world. No one believes that the economy is better than it's ever been. No one believes the border's secure. No one believes that Donald Trump called for a bloodbath or is going to be a dictator. Honestly, the only people that actually believe this nonsense are either already voting for Joe or they've already vowed to never vote for Joe because he just doesn't hate Jews enough. No one reasonable believes this stuff. No one can actually see what's going on and believe anything these people say. And when your strategy is to just silence and hide the president, just put him back in his basement like it's 2020 all over again, that is not going to beat a guy that's flying all over the country doing this every moment that he's not in court, which is another thing that voters can finally just see right straight through.
But isn't it nice to have a president who doesn't need a teleprompter? Not that he can read it anyway. He can't read it. Now think if I read my teleprompter and I'm going, well, let's see, because of the weakness in the economy, I'd like to apologize. Pause. 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 What was that? That's unbelievable. Pause. You know, I was watching it. I said, that was weird. They actually don't have pause in my teleprompter, you know? They have a blank space. That's like you see. If there's a response. If there's no response, you just keep going. You don't have pause.
If you're Joe Biden or someone intellectually damaged enough to still hope that he remains president, you're not going to be able to hide from this guy. I mean, they told you for years that he's lazy, he's just out playing golf, enriching himself and his friends. And now they're trying to hide their guy, the same guy that's been wandering some lonely northeastern beach for the entirety of his disastrous freaking presidency. And it's not going to work. And I hope that's the plan. I hope that they hold to that plan. I really, really hope they try, because that is just not going to work. But that's just my take, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.